Grab your snacks and secure your seats. It's all happening live, right here, right now. Buckle up because the action is about to kick off.
Good afternoon, curling fans. Welcome into draw number 5 here at the Belgium Men's Challenger on the WCT Tour. I'll probably get it right by the final, the World Curling Tour channel here on YouTube. I am John. This is Pim. We are Curdia TV. We are presenting you this tournament this weekend, and what a tournament it has been so far. We've seen some blowouts, but we've seen some tight come from behind victories, just amazing curling all around, and we're hoping to see a little bit more today. Today this session we've got Team Geising. We've seen them in the first draw of the tournament, but now we're getting a newcomer to the broadcast, Team Zhu from China. And they have absolutely been rolling through the tournament, Team Zhu. They put up a 9-1 victory. Is probably higher because they didn't put up the final score in the previous match, but they had handshakes after 6. They were up by a lot, and yesterday they rolled through their matches pretty easily. So, they have been showing they are a dominant force in this tournament.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And Team Geising, a young German team, getting some of their first men's experience. They played a bunch of junior tournaments before, but now they're going against the men. I don't think I can get my voice deep enough for that, but yeah, they're taking this as a learning experience. They know they need to play their absolute best to have any sort of a chance at a result against Team Zhu. But they said they're going to be hopeful and optimistic and try their hardest.
Yeah, definitely. And for people just tuning in on this World Curling Tour event here, popping in on the World Curling Tour YouTube channel, we're Curdia. We mostly stream the Belgian League and other tournaments on our channel, but now we get to host here at this fine stage presenting to the world. We have in this event 10 teams from 9 different nations. Quite a kind of good lineup. Only 2 Belgium teams sitting on the sides here, and then lots of Nordic teams, Scandinavian teams, with a team from Norway, Sweden and Finland, and also some neighboring countries with Germany and France, and then a Hungarian team. Neighboring country, the Netherlands. Cannot forget our the Dutchies.
Yeah, isn't your baby mama's from there? I mean,
yes, indeed, and the whole family in law and whatnot. Yeah, but indeed, kind of a very nice roster, split up in 2 groups. You can see here, bit left side, right side. But if you have a look at the group stages, Team Zhu, as you mentioned, 3 games, 3 wins, sitting very strong. I think they are already kind of secured for a spot in that playoff, maybe even top of the group, and they're playing against Team Geising with 2 losses. It's going to be an interesting thing to predict this game. But yeah, anything can happen, especially for the middle teams, Team Dalle, Hanin and Mercier. They will be fighting for that important second spot, because the second spot gets you in the knockout phase, gets you in the prizes, in the money, etc., etc. Also, we have other games going on in the other sheets. Games from the second group, Westerberg, Verreken, Björke, the Hungarian team, PTSD Men, and Team Ross. We will have a game, Verreken and Westerberg, following up after this one. That could be an important one for the top spots in the group here as well. Or even just to get that second spot for the loser team could be important. So make sure you not just watch this stream, but also the game after and the game after, because we have 4 games today. This is just the second in a series of 4, and even more tomorrow. John, what do you think about this full-packed schedule here?
It's an unusual day for us. Usually we limit ourselves to 2, maybe 3 matches on occasion, but the 4, by the end of the day, throat's going to be feeling a little bit dry, but we've got some coffee, hot chocolate, and some throat lozenges with us, so we'll be fine. But I love it. As long as the curling is good and we can make you guys happy and keep you entertained, that's what we're looking for. Mm-hmm. And, the first draw of today came down to the final stone, a real nail biter, back and forth, really, really tough. And that was between Hanin and Dalle. Team Hanin taking the 9-8 victory over Team Dalle, the Belgian guys, just falling a little bit short. They made one tiny mistake in the last end, and that cost them. But today we've got, on sheet A, the PTSC men from Hungary against Team Rose. Both those teams looking to add to their point total. Team Rose wanting to get onto the board. PTSC, I believe, has 1 win.
Well, let's have a quick peek at the group because I don't yet have 2 losses so far.
No, they both have 2 losses. So either team looking for their first win,
Yep.
and important for them because you don't want to finish last in your group because then you're done for after today.
Mm-hmm.
The top 2 from each group qualify for the semifinals and a guaranteed paycheck. The next 2 get to play tomorrow, but that's more for just filling out the ice, I think, giving you a little bit something extra pride to play for.
Pride, and it's an extra game. I mean, the teams traveling over here to Belgium, they reserved kind of the full weekend, and then instead of having the Sunday off, they can at least play a game in the morning and then have the afternoon to enjoy the very sunny, very nice winter here in Belgium, which is actually not the case. I think the Belgian winters are the worst kind of winters. If you have colder winters, at least you have the snow and all of the kind of winter vibes. If you have warm winters, like in Thailand, for instance, well, at least it's a warm winter. But Belgium is right in the middle, boring, dark, gray, rain, winds.
Yeah, not very pleasant at all. Not cold enough to get snow, but not warm enough to be outside enjoying yourself. So
yeah, all the more reason to kind of stay at home, cuddle under a blanket, turn on the TV, get yourselves a nice coffee, chocolate, whatever, some snacks, and then watch some curling. There's a reason why curling started out in Scotland. They have similar conditions there in the winter. So I think same should apply for Belgium, I guess.
Yep. So why don't we talk a little bit about our teams today? We've got Team Zhu from China. I've learned that they played a little bit here in Europe. They played a tournament last month in Scotland. So trying to get some European and international experience. So far, they've had no issues whatsoever with competition here at this tournament. They are just playing lights out. We haven't yet to see them. I'm looking forward to it today. I've only been able to see the scoreboard and maybe a stone here or there, but that's not going to quite tell the whole picture. But really looking forward to it. Yesterday, they had a big to-do. The ambassador from China to Belgium was here, came with some a whole entourage. There was quite a few people in here watching. It was quite a sight to see. Got some pictures with the team and everybody. So good support from the home country here, or their home country here in Belgium. So I think that was pretty nice for them. And then we've got Geising, the young guys. We talked about them before. They're mainly a junior team, except their skip they're normally their coach in the juniors, but now they're playing together here on the men's side, getting some more experience. And they're finding out that it's not quite as easy as it is sometimes in the juniors. They were the second place team in the junior nationals in Germany last year. And they've played a few of the European junior circuit tournaments and have done quite well. This is a different story. You step up, you start playing with the men, and they don't care that you're 18. They don't care that you're new and you're young. It's welcome to the big leagues, boys. Here's a boot in your butt.
Yeah. Well, if they want to have some practice, I only can recommend them signing up for the Belgian Curling League. I think the Mustache Man, Dirk, the tournament organizer of that league, will basically endorse that message. They can play against other German teams. We have teams from the Köln ice ring, Kek Köln, Jakob Juk, and then we have the Glasgow Rangers from Hamburg. So they're all already German curling teams here in Belgium practicing each year, each season kind of progressing. So who knows, maybe you can have an extra junior team. We have junior teams from Romania practicing here as well, playing the league. That could be an option. But before we hop on to the game, I think people might have noticed, John, there is a little thing in the top corner right there. That's our name. Next to that is really looking very pretty for me. That's my picture. But next to that on the other side, there's also looking very pretty for me, and that is a 4. What's the 4 about? What's the 2 about? Why am I double as good as John, or I doubled out on something? John, I'll leave it to you to explain all of that.
All right. So before every match we broadcast, we like to make our own predictions. We put a poll up in chat for you guys to vote on who you think is going to win. Well, we do it as well, and we hold ourselves accountable. We make our picks known. We have to say who we are, why we're supporting them. And so as I am the lowest point total, I get to go first. And I am going to throw my hammer down for this one, which means double points. I'm going to take Team Zhu for this. We get 1 hammer per tournament. And so for this tournament, I'm going to take that. That's going to be the double points here. So if I win, I'll get 2 and hopefully close the gap a little bit with Pim. But I think I have to take the this Chinese team that's been just dominating so far. And I don't think it's going to stop here today against the Germans. Sorry, Germany, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to kind of follow you here, not to be lame and just make sure you can catch up. But I'm gonna respect the numbers in the group stage and also the strength Team Zhu has shown on the ice. I'm looking forward to kind of go for a dark horse bet, but maybe not in this game, John. I think this is probably the game where the favorites should be able to just win the game, and hopefully we have 8 enders, and hopefully the Team Geising will bring us an exciting game. But in normal circumstances, I think Team Zhu should win. I am not going to follow you with the hammer. I am saving my hammer for the final because I might double down in money time, because that's the kind of way I'm going to show my strength. I want to have a full green line there, all correct predictions, and then right in the end, bam, the KO for John.
All right, then. So they have thrown a couple of stones, so I think we're ready to pop out onto the ice and get into the action. I'm going to try to figure out who has the hammer. I do believe that Geising has the hammer, so we'll catch up with the scoreboard.
And I wonder if we would have Chinese curling fans watching the stream, rooting for the Chinese team. I don't know if there are Chinese YouTube channels who want to dub or commentary. That was the case 2 years ago with the South Korean team, where we got dubbed by Curling One Spoon, a YouTube channel over in South Korea.
Yeah, that was interesting. They made us look like we could speak Korean. It was very funny. They weren't dubbing us directly, but he was translating it, so a little bit of a delay, but here we go. And I will try to pronounce the names correctly. I will hopefully not offend anybody, but please forgive me if my pronunciation of the Chinese names is not so great. This was Li Xiao's first stone of the match, brings that in. And Team Zhu looking very strong here. Geising going to have to play the peel game now. Start clearing up those center guards. Coming over, getting a little bit on the nose, runs a yellow and a red away, but they leave the shooter there. I'm very curious if Andy, the skip from Team Geising, was muted or not. I'm going to have to go out and check his pack. Let's see it here. Says he's okay. This one looking pretty good, trying to bring this one down around the guards. This one tucks right in between those two yellows. That's amazing. Just incredible touch there. Somehow our noise suppressors got turned off, so that's a little bit loud on the ice. That's much more reasonable. Sweeper's kind of hanging off this one, just doing a little bit of cleaning. Nothing too, now working for the curl. Calling it off, just kind of sitting there, a little bit on the heavier side, so ticks that yellow in and tucks it in even more. And I'm fairly certain Andy was not quiet that time, so maybe the mute switch on his microphone pack is switched to mute, so I'll have to go check that out in the between ends. This one looks all right. Sweeper's working on this one. Making sure this one gets over. I want this one to curl over on top of that red one, and it does. Good positioning there. So, as we said in the pregame, we've got 2 other matches going on sheet A. It is PTSE men against Team Ross from the Netherlands. And over on sheet C, it is the Scandinavian matchup of Westerberg against Bjorka, who apparently they went out and had drinks together last night. So we'll see how that affects their on-ice performance today.
Yeah, we didn't have a Nordic derby, Scandinavian derby on stream, but would have been interesting. Maybe in the semifinals, if Westerberg and Bjorke could move on. And
no, they'd only face each other in the finals, so that's still a possibility.
Could be maybe Hanin and Westerberg. That's a potential Nordic face-off.
Yep. You have to be careful. You cannot refer to Hananen as Scandinavian because Finland is not Scandinavian.
Whoa.
One's settling in nicely.
I expected Team Shu bringing in the family to Roots, but they're not here this afternoon. Probably spending the day visiting Belgium.
I think that was the ambassador's family.
Oh, that was the ambassador's family.
That's my take from it because they're not here today. So
that's true. That could have be the case as well.
Cleaning up some stones in the middle, pushes the 2 reds to the right. Yellow gets out of the way. Down to their final 2 stones. Still sitting.
Strong setup for Team Shu here.
Yep. Very likely going to throw a guard over the center. Let's see if my powers of my psychic powers are in tune today. For those of you new to the stream and new to Kurdia, I am known to get things wrong. So much so we have a hashtag for it.
And normally we do a post-game interview with the skip of the winning team, but I didn't double check if the Team Shu has anybody that is willing to take an interview in English.
I'm not entirely sure. They do have one player who speaks some English, but I don't know if he's confident enough to do an interview. So this center guard right there on the middle line, not much difficulty in that. Just kind of trying to make things very difficult. Oops. So if you're Team Geising, what are you doing? You don't have a whole lot of options here.
No.
Doesn't really help you to peel any of those guards at this point. I mean, it does, but then you're looking at your last stone, and very likely you're not moving more than one of those guards. And the real risk is this yellow running back and jamming on that red and then getting stopped in the house. So that would be like worst case scenario, I think. But Vice Skip is set up for a hit, so they are throwing hit weight. This will be good. Peels it off. Avoids any jams with anything, and now leaves Team Zhu with something.
对，玩着就怕那啥，怕啥？也没啥怕的。对呀，选这儿来，保点可以选这儿来。
Looking at a hit on that red, get it out of the way, possibly roll underneath everything, which would also be pretty good. It would leave the side of the button open for a draw.
啊，线路不太够下的，或者是我要坐到这个角度上呢？那就打第3飞了。打定这么来了是吧？不用那么做吧。我要直接这么定，他是这么冲。
We are not playing with any kind of thinking clock here, so the skips are free to discuss every shot as long as they want, although the tournament director will come out and give them a nudge if they feel like they're taking too much time, because we still do have a schedule to play to keep.
And I think, I'm not sure, but it maybe occurred about twice this tournament. In the first game, Bjork against Verreken, there were some nudges.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hadn't even noticed that.
And that game was even at risk of tying the 8th end and going into an extra 9th end, and that would have been an issue. They were finishing up or wrapping up the 8th end, while Mark Allen was already prepping the ice on the other 2 sheets.
Mm-hmm. Final stone here from Zhu Xiaoming. Just setting up something in the center. Looking pretty solid with 2 there. I think they'd be very happy with the steal of 1 or 2.
Solid
now,
guard here.
Yep, now forcing Geising to play out of the side. So, interesting fact about Team Geising, that's actually their city name or their club name and not the Skip's name. Skip is Andy Butner. And is that right, Andy Butner?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an umlaut over it. So traditionally, it's team plus skip name, but some teams use their club name. I think technically they entered as Ein SCV Geising. I don't know where the Ein comes from, but it's a common thing in German sports teams to put a 1 in front of their name. Hopefully somebody from Germany in the chat can tell us why.
Yeah, I'm curious to know about that as well.
See some early votes coming in on the polls. Originally, Team Geising was leading, but now Team Zhu has started to has taken the lead. I think they're looking for a draw here. They just need the side of the button. The hit might not get them exactly what they want, or might not be able to get them to shot, so We're just cleaning at the moment. Now they're going to get the call to start the sweep. Is that going to have the weight on the line? They're doing their best trying to get it down there. I think that might be just a little bit tight. It's going to tap on the top one. And so that will be a steal of 2 for Yu Zhu.
Yeah, strong way to start the end here for Team Zhu. I think a decent attempt for a draw, but yeah, difficult draw, let's face it. Not a lot of room to get into that pin position like the forefoots.
All right, I'm going to go out and check the microphone pack on Team Geising. I'll be right back.
And at this point, we have the team kind of discussing, okay, how do we proceed into the next end? They still have the hammer. Team Zhu obviously by stealing, allowing Geising to keep the hammer, but I don't think they will bother. Stealing is always a good result in curling, and even when it's steal of 2. So a good start here for the Chinese team. And getting started here.
Indeed, he was muted. Now he is not. Yari starting things off for Team Geising here in the second end.
Schauen! Platz! Keine Linie! Gar nichts!
This one just carrying through. Gonna get past the hog, just out past behind the forefoot. That's the word I'm looking for, forefoot.
Decent draw. That's kind of the story we hear a lot from the feedback of teams. It's very fast here, so hog to hog times are pretty fast, which means quite a lot of teams have struggled a bit sometimes with finding that perfect draw weight. It's such a subtle weight. And we've seen draws carrying slightly too deep quite often so far.
Now trying to curl this over, get it behind. Settles in nicely, half buried above the tee line. Brings that red jammer into play. And they're looking for just a light tap back, so they're just going to play a draw to the button, wanting to try to get on top of this yellow one.
Platz! Gar nichts! Sehr weit! Eine Linie!
Yep, he's a little bit wide. I feel like this one's going to just kind of stay out there. A little on the heavy side as well.
And again, kind of a similar feedback here. Carries just a touch too deep. And Team Zhu with opportunities here again to set up for a potential steal.
Come on!
And that red is sitting more or less out in the open, so I think Zhu is not going to take too long to get rid of it.
Whoa! Hard! Whoa! Whoa! Hard! Go, go, go,
Big
go,
line
go,
calls
go!
here.
Trying to get around,
this way,
easily
this way.
around the guard.
Whoa, whoa.
That is going to
Get-
catch on the outer edge of
Get
the
into it.
red, pushes it out, and then the yellow slides out to the back 12.
Solid game here for Chinese team so far.
Yeah, I really feel like you've got to be on your A game and throw it because hit your shots, because Team Zhu has just been putting on a clinic so far. Hard to find fault with anything they've thrown.
Hang it! Go back in that plants! Go! Oh, Shaolin! Oh!
They oversweep this one. Weight looks okay. Is it just sticking around to the outside? Yep, just kind of staying wide.
Okay.
Not a terrible location, but there is a gap, so they're able to hit and roll this without any problem.
Ah? 什么？不太像啊，跟那边都基本上差不多少。稍微让一点吗？这边你可打这边，甩到这边的都没问题。
All right, looking for a hit and roll. If it goes all the way out to the side, they're fine. Just want it to stick around in the house. Add even more pressure to the German team.
我下线。
We're calling for curl. Trying to knife this over.
下到底，下到底，下到底，下到
That is
底。
going to catch on the outside edge, chips off their own yellow. The red goes sliding out of the back of the house. So no harm done. More or less what they would have finished with anyway, but now nothing is blocked.
Nice.
Indicating it might have been a little heavy.
So far, no build-up again for Team Geising. All yellow in the house. 4 yellow stones there.
Oh.
One's looking all right, leaving off of it. Want this to get over inside the nose and roll a bit. Just catches too thick and will stay out exposed.
Yeah, great effort, but that roll, that kind of makes a difference. If you roll, you're in for a good stone, but missing the roll, and it becomes an open takeout for Team Zhu. And details matter at this this level of curling.
Absolutely.
Whoa! Clean! Hard! Whoa! Hard! Hard! Whoa!
Calling hard, whoa, hard, whoa. This one's going to be on the inside, and that's what
A nice
Geising was
comparison.
trying to do,
Yeah.
and that's Team Zhu saying, no, this is how it's done, and no, Geising back on their heels, trying to find a way to keep this game in touch. They don't want to lose touch with Team Zhu early. Starting the first end with the hammer and giving up a steal of 2. Not good. You don't want to do it 2 ends in a row.
Yep! Yep! Oh! Whoa! Okay.
Gets rid of one, and yellow gets rolled back over the top of the other yellow. Maybe making that double a little bit easier. Center guard here from Beijing. Oh, I've already butchered it.
下线下线。
Trying to curl this over, just trying to push it. Weight seems good, but just hanging out over to the side. And covers up about half of it.
Kann auch schneller sein, kann nur 80 sein.
Antonio with the big weight here, looking to try to move some things out.
Okay.
And gets 2 of the yellows out, moves things around. Great stone.
Yeah, this works, keeps things a bit more open. Remember, Geising having hammer, they don't really want to get things too cluttered in the top of the house there, so that helps them to at least manage to get an opportunity to score a point with their last stone here. 2 will be difficult.
Yeah, Zhu's done a great job of keeping this end, and keeping control of this end.
17秒5应该没问题。
Icing just a little bit off on some, and so not able to set up or build up anything big. This one's coming down.
哦，可以。
Excellent guard here.
Settling right at the top of the house. Goes. What do you do if you're Geising? Do you... Yep, look, that's what I was going to just suggest. It's like, do you draw in around behind and hope to use those to your advantage? You could hit, but that doesn't really help you any.
Yeah, if you want to score 2, then I guess you have to draw, and then depending on where the stone ends, Team Shu might try and raise the shot that's currently second onto the shot redstone we try to picture in there. But yeah, starting with the first argument, looking to score 2, that would mean going for a good draw, maybe hoping for a bit of a miss of on the Shu side, and then draw for a second. But that boils down to 2 perfect draws here, which is not easy. It's easier said than done.
Yep.
Owen!
His first stone here in the second.
Owen!
Weight looks pretty good.
Owen!
Nope, no, too heavy.
Achtung!
Is that gonna curl over just a hair and catches that yellow?
Feels like they waited too long to sweep for line here. The weight was not super heavy. I think with a bit of sweeping, holding the line, they could have got it around the guards. I think that was the important thing, to just get it around and see if they could bury it. So a bit of a delay on the line call, and you could notice how Andy was disappointed because he knew there was more in the stone. The stone had more potential.
Yep.
The subtle art of playing curling is not just about delivering the stone, it's the whole team dynamic on top of it that kind of decides on a good delivery.
So that little chuckle there was ominous from Skip Zhu Xiaoming, but he's looking at possibly doing a a chip. Roll this one there, move that one just a little bit to the side, and really put the pressure on Team
相关
Geising.
性挺大。那他往中间投不挡的线啊？还是我再往这边后边旋一个？咱现在俩进。还是从这边再旋一个。
We opting for a draw around now. By skip indicating this one is a little wide.
Yeah, it's just quite wide indeed. And kind of in contrast with the previous stones so far, this one.
Yeah, maybe their first kind of real mistake, but doesn't hurt them at all.
It's still a 4-1. That looking at things on the bright side, there is no really a way of doing this kind of double takeout and hoping the shooter will stick around.
Yeah, be kind of a thin hitting here and then rolling over onto that one. That's going to be pretty tough to do.
Yeah, and with the risk of maybe losing a shooter, you're not really in a do or die situation right now. It's still a second end. Yeah, you like to score more than 2 if possible. Also not an easy draw.
Nope.
And the way the gap is kind of in the middle.
8-9 Länge. 7-8.
Yeah, they're going to have to creep it up right next to this red. They kind of get it over underneath the yellow. Sweeper's just cleaning it, now looking for pace. This is heavy. Is it going to tap onto that red?
It looks like it is. And if so, this
doesn't change anything. Oh, it does.
It does.
It's
a
shooter.
steal. It's a steal of
Steal
one now.
Well, it was always going to be a steal of one.
Well,
it
yeah.
been 2. Or it would have been 2. I thought that the shooter was going to come up short, but no, it got inside of that yellow in the back there. So a steal of 1 for Team Zhu. Looking very strong here at the moment. Even when they are giving opportunities to Team Geising, they're not giving them very easy ones.
No. And it's a similar story of the start of the game as they had against Team Mercier. That was also starting with a trio against a French team. Let's see if they can work their way into this game. Sometimes it's just a matter of finding those draw weights, figuring out the conditions of the ice, where to put the broom. In first 2 wins, it could be a bit of a challenge to build up that information. But the first team that does that could take a small edge.
Yep. So, Ye Jianjun, let's try this one more time. Ye Jianjun leading things off here in the third end for Team Zhu.
可以下线，下线。
Trying to curl this one over. Don't mind if this one gets into the house. This one actually will be
倒刷就行。
fairly close to the button.
可以。
Like right on the pin is, I guess, close to the button.
That's close enough for me.
Let's catch up quickly on the other sheets. Team Ross leading 2-0 over PTSE men.
Yeah.
Strong.
Geising and Zhu. Oh, that's the wrong score. We know what that score is. And Westerberg is leading Bjorka 2-1 in the third.
Westerberg leaving strong impressions so far. Don't know if Team Vreken is around in the canteen scouting the team, but kind of looking forward to see how Vreken will play against Team Westerberg.
Yeah, Timo scrolling through his TikToks.
Catching up on all of the socials. Yeah, that's the downside of having to play a tournament. There's at least 3 hours where you have to tap out of socials. You can't check your phone. You miss out on a ton of things, so that's
3 hours. Yeah, you've already missed out on 4 trending TikTok dances.
That's
right?
true. So that fear of missing out starts to creep in the back of your mind. But as a skip, you need to stay focused at that point.
Okay.
Beautiful stone right there on the center line above the house. Textbook placement there. Looking to draw this one in the gap and behind that red, but this one's curling over a lot. Are they going to be able to hold it? He does, but maybe it's a bit strong.
Yeah, they could have used that kiss just to slow it down a touch, so it could end up somewhere in the house.
Unfortunately, a little heavy, goes through.
Yeah, struggling a bit here. Team Geising, not throwing bad, but just being a bit off against a team like Team Zhu. Then you can slowly see kind of a cookie crumbling, falling apart.
Oh, 下路可以。下线。下线。
The sweepers to bring this down as far as they can.
可以。
Get it to overlap there. Nice stone.
And double center guards, and by the way, they're kind of lined up. Kind of like how they're not perfectly in a straight line, but kind of scrambled. Makes it harder to do these double takeouts.
This one peeling off to the side. This goes underneath their red over there.
Yeah.
I was just about to wonder out loud if Andy was muted again, but no, he's just being very quiet.
小飞不要擦，下线。
I'm going to curl this over. I'm going to put something back on that center line.
And there you go.
Oh no, hogged.
Oh, hogged. Huh? Yeah. To miss that one. I was so closely watching that center line that I missed out on the hog, and now they're going to check like what was.
Yeah, it seemed to be okay, and then just really slowed down, but didn't seem to have any kind of left or right on it, so like it didn't catch on one side or the other, just kind of slowed down. So maybe not heavy enough. Maybe it caught something. We'll never know.
Will be a mystery for all eternity.
But as far as, oh, that's not bad. That gets that center one out of there, pushes the yellow out to the side. There we go, opens things up a bit for him.
Yeah, great effort here for Team Geising to turn a little bit of the build-up to their favor again. And still a center guards, a red one this time, so Team Shu opting to claim that sweet safe spot right behind the guard here with a good draw.
Definitely around the guard. Now just want to settle in, calling them off.
Very satisfying to watch. Very satisfying to watch. Gently, front of the T line, behind the guards, nicely on the center line. What more to say other than perfection?
No, Team Geising going to try to run back their red guard onto that yellow. That is the one advantage they have with that guard being theirs. No, this one's going to be a little bit off. That's also okay. Open things up. Going to see another guard over the center here. Try to force Geising into hitting. Gross, leaves a little bit exposed in the back there. So, hack weight-ish. Yeah, hack weight, go after it, so not too heavy, just enough to get it out the back, and then roll the shooter off to the side behind that guard, that red guard. I mean, wouldn't even be the worst thing in the world as if it's a little bit over the nose and settles down underneath that yellow guard in the middle.
Onyx! Oh!
Well wide, trying to curl us over now. Starting to go. And
very good
brilliant.
start.
That was very well played.
And finds that very subtle, nice roll there behind the corner guard, and this is what Team Geising needs, a bit of a break. Those very good stones here, looking at the house.
Yellow is still shot, but that was a pretty phenomenal stone from red to get out of, sort of loosen the pickle jar, if you will. You know?
Yes.
One on its way down, cleaning a bit, looking for a freeze up against that red second stone.
That side can curl hard once it slows down.
Goes out around that guard. Are they going to be able to get it down and freeze? And it's pretty good to me.
And it's not shot though. They were hoping to get it shot.
Die Vorgaben nachspringen.
Lightly over curled.
Kann sein.
No chance here, an opportunity for Team Geising to score 2 in this sense.
Yep, they have that open hit,
Einfach
for
nur.
hit and roll here.
Gehen.
Oder wir gehen rum und gehen nach vorne hin. Dass der halt nicht geht, dass die beide gleich raus sind von ihm.
Yeah, that's Gregory doing some.
I heard some kind of a drill in the background. I was kind of surprised.
Hopefully the noise canceling on our microphones takes care of that, but if you hear it, it is Gregory
Darf aber nicht tiefer als so.
messing around, fixing things in the kitchen or behind the bar.
Für den gelben, wie gesagt, weißer Vierfuß, der darf nicht tiefer rein.
Andy's first stone here in the third end. An important hit and roll here.
Und Achtung!
Don't really need to hit it very far, just a slight tap. It looks like they're not even going to bother.
Looked like a draw to me.
Don't really have a good angle of the stone. It's in there somewhere. Did they get it back? No, that is sitting shot. It is in the 4-foot.
Because it's a bit deep, this is a kind of open invite for Team Zhu to steal again, put it right in front of it, and that's a potential steal or force to 1 if they are able to just get it around center guard and then have that redstone sitting on the pin or freezing up against the red one. So being a bit deep on the draw is kind of an opportunity here.
I'm a little bit curious why they didn't try to play for some kind of hit and roll.
Yeah, maybe they figured hit and roll is difficult. What if we draw first? We can always do a takeout. But yeah, good question. This needs to curl.
There it goes. It's going to start. That should be fine. Trying to bring it all the way down.
Excellent stone here and a force to 1.
Yep. Fantastic freeze. Alliteration. I'm allowed to use it.
Yeah, there's not that much they can do. It's just frozen up against that redstone. No way to get it out. And even if they could get it out, yeah, how do you score 2? That's pretty much undoable. So leaves Team Geising with just one option, and that is a draw for 1. They have the backing. And Andy threw this draw just a minute ago, so he should have that kind of sense of feel for T-line weights. But it's important. And you want to come back, reduce the score gap with 2 points, otherwise like 4-0 starts to get a bit large to catch up. You might have Shu really starting to play the scoreboard after that. Let's wait and see how this draw ends up.
Wait, looks okay, but it's a bit outside. Is that going to make it all the way down on the line they want? It's got to get over. It's got to get over. And just
good enough.
There.
Just good enough. Whew, relief here over on Geising's side. Feared a bit that would stay wide, but it curled just enough and also stopped in the exact right place to be shot. And either way is 1 point, even with a perfect draw, or this one, it's results in the same amount of points. Team Geising is on the scoreboards. They hand over the hammer to Team Shu, and they can celebrate, pick up the redstone with the number 1 label, and go into the 4th end.
So Yari will start things off here in the 4th for Team Geising as they trail Team Zhu 3-1.
Raus.
Like that's gonna creep into the house.
Good.
Just in front, I think, maybe? Yep.
I think so. It's gonna be difficult to really spot it, but I think it is just in front of the house. And Team Shu, they will set up corner guards.
还行还行，降速了，降速了，哇！
I'm going to curl over. Gonna
好，往后来一点。
trickle into the house, so they're going to try to bring this as deep as they can.
OK。
30. Oh. Oh, yep. Yep. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Just playing that one out, rolling a bit out to the side. Skip is happy.
打听，查一线。
Looking for a nose hit here. Want to keep this yellow out on the side. Can be used as a semi-corner guard.
Oh! 等。
Coming down, skip sweep, staying off it. This one's going to just be a little bit outside the edge of the nose, and that is going to roll out of the house.
Thinking we did not have any kind of measurement so far in this event.
Nope, not at all. PTSC men jumping on the scoreboard in a big way, scoring 5 in the 3rd to lead 5-2 over on sheet A. And Westerberg and Bjorka on sheet C are all tied up in the 4th. So interesting matches going on all over the place.
This one a bit heavy again.
Yep. Seeing how fast the ice is, just feels like, oh, this is fine. And it's absolutely just carries.
10秒。
And these kind of little mistakes, they then tend to pile up on the scoreboard as well. You feel like, okay, you're just missing a touch, but slowly the point gap increases and the opponent is getting away.
Yeah, it's nice. Rolls it over to the side. Believe it's out of the house.
Oh, indeed, second time this tournament that we have a 5-ender. This time, the Hungarian team, Team PTZ Men, against Team Ross, also in the third end. The cursed Belgian third end, as we would like to call it as of now.
Well, you would like to call it that.
At some point it will be picked up, and that will be the Belgian end if it ever happens on the Olympics or the Briars or the Scotty. So
I'm fairly certain my Swedish curl will become a thing before the Belgian end will.
12秒。Hard. Hard.
Calling for a sweep.
Go, go, go.
Hey,
Hard.
I understand that. Hard and go, go, go. I understand those words.
差不多，差不多，差不多。
Catches it on the nose, so just off the nose, pushes it out, rolls a little towards the center. Doesn't get over that far, so Geising can use this as a guard to hide behind.
and sure enough, they will.
Enge.
If you get this kind of
Wo ist er?
free guards, then you might as well use it. It's there
Wow.
to your
Onyx, geh
advantage.
Platz. Onyx, Onyx. Okay.
Can't
Yep.
really get around it.
Yeah, weight was great. Just, yeah, it's not the right line. It stays out a little bit further than they'd like. Now, opportunity for a little hit and roll.
选一个打水。
Although they may just try to draw it in.
给。
Hit and roll. I always like it when the skips use these kind of obvious gestures.
Yep.
It's good
Time
for
out.
the players and the sweepers, but also like for
It's good.
fans and broadcasters.
Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa. 下线。
Called him off the straight, now wanting him to curl it.
哦，没有，没有，没有。这
Nope.
太简单了。
I don't know what he said, but I know he didn't like it.
Some things are universal, and nodding your head like that is the
Hey.
same thing in China as it is in the rest of the world. It means like, oh no, that is not what we wanted. Leaves a hit and roll opportunity here for Team Geising. Team Shu playing very solid, but they have these rare mistakes, and then if you're the opponent, this is where you have to strike. This is the
Onyx.
little window of opportunity you have to grasp.
Go. Auf geht's.
This is a hit and rolls outside. Shooter will probably spill. And Shooter goes out of the house. And Geising not gaining advantage from this. They really wanted this redstone to stick around and stay there as the second point.
Sure. Good afternoon. Yeah, Team Zhu is looking really solid.
Hier, der war jetzt
They don't make many mistakes, and even when they do, they're not massive. So they've been handling this fast ice very well.
顶线。哇，变成正传，正传。hard hard hard。
calls him off and gets him back on. All right, that's going to chip the yellow off to the side.
Nice
Shooter
split.
rolls off to the other. Yeah, very nice split.
I was questioning, maybe that's a question to Gary, the tournament director, but just imagine Björke winning against Westerberg, and then Westerberg winning against Verreken. Then you would end up with a three-way tie between Westerberg, Björke, and Verreken. In that occurrence, what would be the tiebreaker to decide which team ends up
I believe
first,
it's
second, and third?
I believe it's ends and then stones. He's eating a sandwich, so.
Yeah, but he heard the question, so I think he's just gonna finish up eating a sandwich and maybe at some point pop it in chat. But yeah, I don't know if it's ends and stones or LSD or a combination of both, where ends have the upper hand. I think LSD would make sense, but you see a lot of tournaments where ends and stones also matter.
Going to curl this over. Nope. Not quite enough.
Because in the event where Björke would win against Westerberg, that will be important information to know for the next game.
啊？天外能压中吗？我打这往里来一点儿，开到这儿了。他再打这个 W 这块有相关也没关系，还是打完稍微往里甩一点。
How are you doing, John? Are you still holding up, or do you have this kind of afternoon after dinner dip?
I need a nap. My old man self is screaming at me. It's like, go take a nap.
Yeah, people out here can't see it, but Mr. John is yawning like a hippo. It's a long day for
And
a
I'm
lot
interested
of people.
in the curling too. It's just they're both playing quite. How do I want to say this nicely?
Relaxed paced. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no pressure to kind of make snapshot decisions.
They're playing very deliberately, meaning they're thinking out their shots. They're planning it. It's slow, is what the word is. Yep, just tap out the red.
A couple of gentle sweeps to make sure, but that was always gonna go. And Team Shu just very much in control here, not just this end, but basically the entire game so far. Feels like you have to kind of put up your best performance and then wait for that one or two moments where Shu slips up a bit and then hope you grasp that opportunity, but if not, they slowly disappear on the horizon and you would try to catch up, but it's a hard team to fight against.
Yep.
Team Shu.
Yep. Got to be precise, and Geising has not been getting that done.
Wie gerade eben.
So needing the roll on this one, it's not just good enough to hit. They need to get this to roll
Na ja, dann spielen wir das wieder so.
over underneath the yellow to hope to have a shot at stealing.
Oh! Oh!
Now asking for the curl.
Und drüber!
It's not gonna have enough against some roll, but still out in the open.
Yeah, and decent attempt. I mean, it was on the broom, right side of the stone, but just missed that hair extra to find a roll. So in terms of execution, like 95% accuracy on the execution, but in terms of where the stone ended, it's not the revenue they need. It sticks around for Shu to take it out, and then let's see how many other stones. I think they have one biter in the front of the house, so they could have a takeout for 2 here. I have to confirm.
那打中线这边，从里边往外打。
Wait on this, and it knocks, and it rolls.
Oh, just imagine if that one jammed and sticked around. Like, if that was intentional, that would have been a shot of match. And there's the second one in. They were talking about it. I felt like it was, but it didn't have a kind of clear confirmation on that one.
I believe he waved it off, like not in. So blank end, possibly.
Yeah.
Question mark. We're going to have to wait and see what they put on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, there in Zhu, the team is standing out by the hog line, so that is going to be a blank. And let Geising will be leading off here.
Yep. And starting off in the 5th end. So confirmed on the scoreboard, it was a blank end, and no 4-minute break here. We don't really need that, I guess, as Team Geising is getting ready to get this 5th end started.
Here we go with Yari's first stone of the 5th. Geising trailing Zhu 3-1. Geising seemingly in it, but I think it's more Zhu allowing him to kind of stick around, not punishing him too much for their mistakes.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I heard other teams tell as well, like, because of the scoreboard, you feel like you're in it. You don't give up a big end, so you feel like you're just around the corner. But Shu is performing very decent, very solid, in control, and ends up winning matches so far. This is their 4th match in their group. They get to rest this afternoon and prepare for the knockouts tomorrow.
Beautiful corner guard, perfectly placed.
And semi-final 1. Is it going to be the first of which group against the second of what group? Just to kind of try and already picture that. I don't know for sure. It just said semi-final 1, I think, but didn't really mention a specific seeding.
Probably A1 versus B2.
Yeah, something like that, but I don't know which group is A and which group is B. We assigned an A and a B to it, but there was no official A and B titles.
And sneaks around, doubles up that center guard there.
Yeah, flawless lead stones so far. Nice double center guards there, and a very, very nice corner guard. So front end is performing.
Out onto the ice for something, not really sure what.
The team on Shide might be a bit behind schedule.
No, or maybe. No, they're on with everybody else.
You're not that far up, indeed.
But maybe just saying, hey, don't take the break in between.
I guess that's the case. Like, you're just on time, but if you are planning to take a big break, then we might run into trouble. So that would make sense.
Hat ihr Platz? Hat noch Platz? Auf geht's. Okay. Rum.
Don't want to get this one too deep. Tour saying they did not want that first corner guard. He asked for a stone in the house. Probably, yes, but I'm trying to be nice.
Hey, nobody knew that, Tour. You just called it out, but we could have disguised it.
Oh!
You big meanie.
Hard! Go! Hard! 走一点这个来。哎呦我去！
Peels off the guard. Shooter rolls out of the way. That was intentional. So are you done skiing for the day, Tour, or are you just taking a break?
Yep! 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 Oh! Yep!
Yeah, we're good. We're enjoying this a lot.
Oh!
This match is maybe a little bit more deliberate than some of the others, but overall, been a good event.
Okay.
打定，打甩进来。
Already in France.
Already in France. Well, if you were skiing in France, then
Well, midway in France.
oh,
Jeez.
midway France. I didn't.
I know I didn't say that, but
Hard! Hard!
trying to hold this one.
走！下线，
Oh, wait.
好，线，顶线。
Is this stone? Oh, I was one ahead. Okay, now. Accidentally double clicked. There we go. We're on the right stone. Little gap there for a hit and roll. What kind of weight do you throw at that? Gonna try to shoot this gap here. Take out the yellow, roll through.
Whoa.
That one's going to over curl, catch on the red guard.
Okay.
Slides over and opens things up. So not a terrible miss. Obviously not what they wanted, but trying to guard this up here. Twakes, greetings from Germany. Well, welcome in. Greetings from Belgium.
Oh!
Glad to have you in here checking up on, I'm assuming you're checking up on Team Geising, but if you're just checking up on the curling in general,
Oh,
well,
no.
you're in luck. There's a German team involved.
Hard!
It's going a little bit heavy, so they're going to try to sweep that down and get a freeze. Slight little tap, but Maybe there's enough of a gap for a double and to hold the shooter.
Go
but
backline.
Just gonna go with backline here.
Help. Help. Oh. Help. Help.
Yes, no, yes, no,
No!
maybe so.
On the contrary.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Now he calls them off, gets on the nose, a little bit of a tap. Kind
I
of
like it,
moves all three of those yellows around.
A new situation in the house. A Yellowstone in front 4 foot, but two or Redstone in front 4 foot. Yellowstones stick around. Red is still exposed.
Yep. They'll likely want to hit this one outside of the nose so it pushes through. They cover over onto the left side. It could jam on one of the yellows in the back.
Talking about jamming on the back, something jammed on the back there with Antonio. I hope he's doing okay there.
This one's going to over curl and get on those reds. So a bit of a break here for Team Geising. What are they going to do with it?
Yeah, and this was the thing we mentioned. Solid play from Shu, but here and there a rare mistake and an opportunity here for Geising to steal if they put up a guard. I'll try to tap stuff behind the guards.
Yeah, looking at a possible split here, kind of try to protect things a little bit.
Yeah.
So tap this one like that, tap the red one just over there a little bit, have the shooter roll over there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they want to get that scoring stone off to the side a little bit to get some guard.
Nur den Tap. Tap schräg auf den gelben hinten drauf und den Spielstein nach rechts rüber. Unten links rüber auf den gelben und mit unserem Spielstein nach rechts. Wir spielen nur Zieleinlänge, wir spielen nicht schneller. Wir spielen bloß Zieleinlänge.
Oh no, it is
Brauchen
right.
wir nicht weit tappen, das ist ein halber Meter.
So they don't need this to be very heavy. Really, ideally, T-line. Don't want to risk pushing it too far.
Yep. 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 Oh.
Really trying to pull this one down. Going to get the chip. How much? Not very much of a chip, unfortunately.
Does it leave a potential double if you kind of ran something in between the reds, or is the angle too awkward for that?
I think you have to worry about the you have to worry about the jam. So if you come here, if you're on, let's try this again. If you're on this side, that could jam there. And then the shooter, I believe, goes over the top here. If you catch like that, this can go there. That could potentially jam, but also go out. But then the shooter rolls out.
Well, the thing is, even if it jams, it just opens up the middle. They have the hammer team Shu. They probably don't need to score 5. They have a bit of a score lead, but they need to deal with both redstones though.
Yeah.
Yep. Gary poking in, saying there's a double there.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same here.
Leon, good to see you.
不管他找的是哪个都行。
Guten Tag.
The sun rose up on Hamburg. Leon just woke up after a bit of Saturday snoozing and decided what a great way to spend my Saturday and root for some German
稍微偏一
teams.
点。
Yeah, we mentioned before, Leon, that an open invite if the Geising team, if they want to progress. The Belgian Curling League is a great way for junior teams to get match experience, progress, and maybe even beat the Glasgow Rangers at some point.
Oh!
Coming down, Skip saying off, now back on. Catches it a bit on the nose and runs it back. Now it's hard to see. Definitely one red is shot. Let's take a look at the overhead. Yeah, okay. Red is first and third. Yellow is second.
Ja.
So what do you do here?
Ja, wäre schon schön, wenn er
Yeah, I
hier
think
hinten
maybe
links
just
liegt. So.
corner freeze up against. There is no pop to corner freeze, but maybe just put a second red one in the forefoot and kind of make teams shoot doubt what to do. It's gonna be hard to do a double takeout if you get a second red one in there. Second red one on the
Ist noch weniger geben, oder?
left side,
Ein bisschen
top hand
weniger.
side on this angle.
Yeah, I mean if just from this side, it doesn't look like it's gonna be easy to get around. I mean, they're
No.
gonna try to come in around this, maybe try to tap that red one back. That would be possible.
Yeah.
Because then they would be sitting 3 there.
Ein bisschen weniger, oder? Was denkst du?
Yeah, could be a good one.
Yeah, if they're sitting 3, if they tap yellow back and sit 3, then it's really a force to 1 basically. And if the shooter kind of rolls a bit to the middle, good block or a good draw.
The Wittner with his last stone of this end, trying to make it count, trying to sweep it over. Get onto the nose. They don't want to split that off, and that was possibly the worst case scenario.
Kind of leaves it double here,
挺困难的。
or at least I think with some weight on it, and they're looking at ankles, but with some weight, could you double those 2 reds out and then
给得进。
score 2 or more? Hard to see. Hard to. They're looking at which stone is sitting second at this point. From our angle, it's going to be hard to see. If they can spot it standing right on top of the stones, for us it's probably going to be equally hard, so we'll have to kind of...
I would suggest yellow, but I also know the camera is not directly over the pin, so there is no...
there is no way of telling for sure. Either way, both of them are looking at kind of a run back options, like where do we need to hit, where do we need to set the broom. But I think they're just gonna put some weight on the redstone there, hoping to clear both of them.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. Also by the looks of where they put the broom.
Yep, they'll just want to hit this one a little bit on the side.
Suggest some weight.
We should see that top red kind of spin up a little bit, but out of the house.
Art. Whoa!
Starting to cross the center line right now.
Is that going to get by? It's going to be a little bit on the nose.
This is exactly what I wanted.
That's enough.
And I'm counting 1, to 3.
Yes.
3 yellow. And is this the decisive end here? Because going up from a 3 1-point lead to a 6 1-point lead with 3 remaining ends will make it very, very hard for Team Geising to come up with a comeback plan here.
Yep, Zhu taking that, blank and saying we want to keep the hammer, and then scoring 3. You gotta like that decision now. It's didn't look terrible in the beginning, but then at some point, Geising in this end was looking pretty strong. But then they came out and said, "Okay, well, no, we're gonna take this over, get the 3." And there you have it.
And they're looking at the scoreboard like, yeah, takes away a bit of the tension sometimes. Like, you're up against stronger team, if can be as fair to say that. And then seeing the scoreboard, they have that one basically.
Yeah.
Oh, Team Shu finished in 6th ends this morning against Team Mercier. Probably not going to witness an 8-ender here. So
not unless Team Geising really gets things together and nails it down. But Zhu is looking very strong.
Yeah, and after this game, John, we have had the opportunity to witness every team in this tournament so far, and I think it is fair to say that Shu showed the strongest impression, or left the strongest impression.
Yep.
But that's the group stage. You can be king of the groups, but in the knockouts, everybody starts from 0 again, and then basically 2 games that will decide everything. So it doesn't matter if you win everything or nothing in the groups.
Nope. We had a skip malfunction. The red microphone from Andy Butner is... Yep, something has gone wrong with that.
Probably the cable that
Yep.
was a bit loose.
Alright. Whoa, 可以。
Meanwhile, John, do we have some updates from the other sheets while we witness the beginning of end number 6 here over on sheet B?
We do. Oh, I'm just waiting for a score to be posted. Now it has been, so we can show the ticker. UTSC men leave Team Ross 6-4. Ross just scoring 4 in the 5th end. Here we have Geising 1, Zhu 6, and Westerberg is leading Bjorka 4-2 in the 6th end.
Westerberg also strong, so 2 teams so far winning, and if you count in Verreken, 3 teams that are flawless. But Shu with 4 games after this one.
They will have time to rest and get ready for tomorrow's semifinals. They'll get to wait and see who is their opponent. You can see from the poll that Team Zhu has been growing their margin on the poll as well as on the scoreboard. 68% of you going for Team Zhu, 32% for SCV Geising.
力量，上去，把脚要插出去。
Trying to curl this over. Want a split house. Oh, it's a bit deep. and is going to tap that yellow one out the back, which, to be honest, doesn't really hurt them at all.
Nope.
Oh, no, there is a mistake on the scoreboard on sheet A. It was actually 2 for the PTSE men, so they lead it 8-2 over Team Rose. They had put the score up in the wrong set, on the wrong line.
Strong result here for Team Mercier.
Nope. Not Team Mercier.
Team PTZ men, yeah.
Yep, the Hungarian team. Alright, carries through deep, taps the yellow one out. Red one's sitting out in the open, so they're just gonna, oops, pop that out.
11秒。2、1。
Calling for line, wanting to sweep
Okay.
hard.
顶住 ！Go go go！ 顶住顶住顶住顶住！
They
Trying
need to
to
keep the
hold it.
line. Yeah, nice, nice.
He gets it. There it goes. I think that was a little bit of a panic from the skip. I think it was just fine. Hit and roll here, or just a draw? Just a draw.
Great sweep effort to get it around the guard. They preferably get around it, but will they get it deep enough to squeeze into the house? No, they have kind of a double corner guard set up right there.
4-5进行，4-5非常好，可以下线啊。
Sure,
到
this
刷
one
了，
comes down. Looks pretty
这
good.
个可以
Now they're gonna try to
下线
finish it to get it
下线
guarded.
下线，至少下线。哦。
Nicely done. Good play. Well placed.
I like this a lot. It's guarding the two stones in the back. It's preventing Geising to come around their corner guards, and it's not entirely in the house. So even with the takeout, Geising couldn't have that biter for 2 points. So it's doing so much things at once with just one stone.
Geising trying to draw this in around or hit and roll underneath, but not a lot of weight. Will that have enough to roll over? Yes, but no.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing we've seen a couple of times with Geising. Basically, excellent stones, just like 90%, 95% well executed, but they don't get the rewards of that the results. And sometimes the case with hit and rolls.
Go 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 go!
Zhu trying to get rid of everything.
我，可以可以。哎呦，
That roll and get tucked underneath. Worse results could be had. I think it's still going to be very difficult for Geising to do much here. corner freeze and then hope they can do something with it, or that it'll be available for them to do something with it. Gets rid of the yellow, but shooter rolls out.
They were hoping to get a bit of a double takeout, or at least
沾点4也
have the shooter in place.
那沾点4也行吧，这个点应该就足够了，我感觉，差不多吧。
Very lovely promotion stone over there on sheet A. Don't know if you caught that in the camera, but caught my eye. Hopefully Team Roast will build something up and put up some more pressure on the Hungarians.
3区，3、4都行。
First of the skip stones here in the 6th end. Skip Xu Xiaoming just looking to put something down there. Guard up their stones. Could even potentially get it to the house to bite it. This one's going to be a little bit light. It's more about the line. And that just settles in nicely in front of their own yellow. Not much you can say bad about that.
Things are looking good for Chinese team here so far.
Yep, showing that those earlier matches, the earlier score lines we were seeing come through, not a fluke. They are definitely a team to be contended with. Looking very good to finish atop their pool and securing one of the semi-final placement spots.
I think we are this close from just announcing Team Zhu as the group winner in their group. 3 wins, and this is going to be their 4th. No other team can do better since they have beaten all of their group opponents. Unless
one just runs it back at an angle, leaves it open, but yeah, just running out of time here, running out of stones.
打蛋呢是吧？这还是这个点吗？
He made a funny, probably something like, "Hey, why don't we just take out our own? It'll be neat and see. You know, we've got those ones in the back." But I doubt it was that. That's not really fair play, is it?
我沾点赢。对，4区5区都行，让他打完那个不赢咱那个就行，就沾点白圈都行。
I don't believe Geising even has anything in the house, so not even possible or very unlikely for them to score multiples, even if Zhu makes a mistake.
And it's going to be another very hard 4-1 draw, where if they make a mistake, they would face another steal of 1, 2, 3, potentially.
Depends on that one in the back. This one's coming down into the house. Maybe a freeze. We're trying to make this a freeze, excuse me. But great position for it. Yeah. Not really anything that Geising can do except draw for 1.
Yeah, I feel like we've had to say that a couple of times with their hammer ends. They're down to just the one option. And damage control would be the term if this was a second end, but at end number 6, you can't really call this damage control anymore.
Nope.
This is just accepting the reality.
Accepting your fate.
I think these are also the easiest losses to swallow. Just your opponent is of a different skill level. And Geising put up a decent performance, but yeah, if you play against a team that makes close to 0 mistakes, it's hard to kind of show your full potential or your full strength, other than doing these kinds of
Trying to curl this over, but it's also going to be a touch heavy, and they will sweep it past, so a steal of 1.
yeah, still a decent effort. If this was your LSD shot and you had to measure, that was something you would be very happy with. So
Yep.
if you would be very happy during an LSD, you shouldn't be that dissatisfied with this attempt. I think that was a very, very decent attempt. But yeah, because of those yellow stones, that resulted in another steal, bumping up the total score for Team Zhu to 7-1. Are they going to start end number 7?
I don't know.
And I think they do. The fact that sweepers are standing over at the hog line there, it kind of indicates they're waiting Shu to kick off the 7th end.
And he went to go get his gripper, so yep, we will be seeing a 7th end. Ye Jianjun will be starting things off here for Team Zhu.
Go go go! Whoa! 别费劲儿了 ，OK， 进不来吧？
So how is Westerberg doing against Bjorky in the meantime? Because that's still an interesting result for
都啥时候了？
standings in the other group.
They're just about to put the score up from the 5th end. Excuse me, 6th end, and oh, it was a steal of 1. So Westerberg leads Bjorky 5-2 as they enter the 7th. This one coming down, going to try to get around the guard. It does. I'm going to finish that buried in the top of the 12-foot and just biting, but good enough.
来吧，给你个击打的机会。
Yeah, great sweeping effort there from the sweepers to just get it in there, bite the paint.
哦，可以啊，挡点球。
Team Shu deciding to just clear their own guards. They don't need guards, especially not if a red one is tucked away right behind it. Now Geising opting try and split the guards.
Looking pretty good. Just need to keep it on the edge. So it still has some forward momentum. Not too deep with that one, young man. Don't want it to go out of the house. Oh, beautiful split there.
Yeah, excellent one.
到这儿，4 1/3，1/3。
There's a possibility of a crosshouse double here.
Whoa.
Would take the right angle, some good weight, but you know, what do they have to lose, honestly, trying things like that? This one, oh, a rare miss.
Yeah, decent attempt though, because they needed to hit that very light, and it did. Just touch too light. And as you said, they can afford a bit of tryouts here. If they have to try out at these kind of stones, but this is the perfect time, deep in their final group game, where they will always win. Potentially last end. So I think Geising, they're just looking for that 1 point, that one time to score on their hammer, to step off the ice and leave. I would say leave the group stage, but they have one more game right after this one against Team Haninen.
Trying for another little split here, wanting to chip that left red there a little bit deeper and then open things up. So trying to get things spread out in the house, hopefully avoiding any kind of doubles here.
Hard! Hard! Go, 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 hard!
Gets one and taps the other. Sets up like another double over there. Oops. Geising not going to worry about that yellow in the center. They are going to play one out to the far corner, far left side.
Indicating this might be a bit outside. Sweepers are waiting.
Let's cross the center line. Will that pick up more curl as it goes? Appears to be. Finally starting to move out to the left and sweeping this one. Very nice.
I like the stone. Nicely there on the edge of the 8 foot, in front of the tee line. Not leaving the double. That was the whole point. And so far, finally, kind of a good setup here for Team Geising. The front end did well. Now it's up to the back end to finish it off.
Stop! Stop! 下线。
It's right on the nose.
Okay.
No roll, so I think Geising will just try and roll outside, hit and roll, and remain with 3 stones in the house. Not entirely sure which stone is sitting in 3rd position right now, if it's the yellow stone or the red one.
Very close, yeah. Trying to bring this down, get a little bit of a roll themselves inside. Not too far, but gets rid of the shot. Still sitting 2.
Decent amount of red stones in the house so far, but something tells me that little yellow rock sitting on the center line and top 12 It's gonna end up guarding a nice shot stone for Shu later in this game. And yeah, try to do a hit and roll off the red stone and roll onto that center line behind the yellow stone.
I think that's a safe bet.
Whoa!
Nice.
Hi! Hi! Oh, 没有没有没有。
Oh, this one's going to be on the nose. Going to leave something for Geising to build off of. I mean, obviously want to get rid of it. Even a nose hit there is fine. There it is. Nose, a little bit roll under.
打那个往中间甩，他不正好打过来了吗？
也是哈，但你打定那个，他打大波有相关。
打那个往这边找呗，这个玩意刮他就走呗。不是我打薄一点，刮的那个都。 Huh?
Looking at all of the possibilities here.
Yep.
Yeah,
for a minute there, I thought hit and roll would have been the straightforward option, but they're looking at different things right now. Maybe they're looking at a nose hit promotion on yellow. No, they're even looking at rolling towards the sides.
Force a split. Let's see the quick scoring update. Ross took one back in the 6th, but they still trail PTSD men 8-3. Here we have Geising trailing Ju 7-1. And over on the C sheet, Westerberg leads Bjorka 5-2 in the 7th. Going for the hit, it's going to end up on their own. Well, it jams out that red, so...
Clears a bunch of red stones here and leaving the yellow in a shot position. And this is the intended shot here, and I must say I'm pretty impressed with the quality of this one.
Yep. Got rid of a couple of those extra reds in there. Sitting shot. They're wide open, but yeah, looking at probably 2 against instead of 3 or maybe 4. You have to wonder if Geising manages to score 2 here on their hammer. Do you think they shake hands being down 7-3?
I would guess so. You never know for sure, of course. I mean, for a minute there, I thought they would concede after the 6th end. I mean, 7-1 against a strong team. Had managed to steal a couple of times. Will they spill the shooter or will it jam? Slides behind the red, so they spill the shooter, and a chance here for Zhu to take out and force to 1. No set takeout is basically enough to force Team Geising to just score 1.
Yep. And it'd be very hard to not shake hands down, even if they manage to win this end 7-2. That's a pretty tough score line to come back from against such a strong team.
Yes. 5 to tie, 6 to win. Pretty difficult. You don't have to be professor in mathematics to figure that out.
Yeah, and they would have to steal.
And steal, yeah.
So this one gets rid of the red, shooter rolls and jams and stays on. So
what a way!
I mean, even when they miss, they make it. So
yeah.
Honestly, it didn't matter if the shooter stayed in or not. That was always going to be a force to one, unless they wanted to hold out for a blank to try to.
Yeah, that's the whole case. Now it's a force to one because they are forced to take the one. Otherwise, they could have opted to blank, but now.
Well, they could still blank it if they so choose. They could still blank it. They could knock this one out, roll out, and take the blank. But that weight, they are not doing it, curling it back towards the center of the house, just wanting to make sure it gets in.
Yeah, you don't want to leave this short. And needs
that has plenty of weight. That is going to be in. A score of 1.
And there you have
it. But there are the handshakes.
Score 1. They are on the board once more with a 1. This game will settle with a scoreboard that reads 7-2 for Team Zhu. Team Zhu winning all of their group stage matches. Geising haven't had a win so far. They have one more opportunity against Team Hananen, but let's pop over to the booth.
So 63% of you, or 67% of you, whatever that number was, 66% of you took Team Zhu. I think that's a rounding number, should be 67. 33% Team Geising. Nobody took the tie this time. Good. Picking a tie is just so... I mean, it's a long shot, but still. So, yeah, Pim and I, both winners. We both picked Team Zhu. They are as strong as they have shown in the previous score lines. And, I mean, there's not much to say about this match. It's just they outplayed Geising. Geising threw some good stones, but just not good enough. Just being a centimeter or two off on some of those hits. Left things open, rolled out, just unable to build up. And Zhu just kind of putting... expressing their will wherever they wanted to. So
yeah, it's sometimes nice or hard to kind of narrate a very kind of close suspense archline story for games like these, but then the only thing we can say about it is congrats to Zhu for kind of putting up such a solid performance. And yeah, guys, next look to your final game in the group stage. One more game to see if you can grab a win. I don't know if we'll have a post-game interview with Chinese team.
I don't think we will, no.
Entirely sure. We'll leave it at that. I guess it has been a long stream so far. And let's have a quick peek at what is coming for you later today before we take our well-deserved break right here. So next up, and kind of looking forward to that game, Team Westerberg is facing the Belgium national men's team. They will be the national men's team for at least a week. After next weekend, everything can change. So this could be their last, basically, performances in the national jersey. So they have to make it count to convince their sponsors to keep sponsoring and paying for that journey. But yeah, nice game to look forward to. And then later today, we will have Team Björke playing against the Hungarian team. Hungarian team, we've seen them already earlier on the stream yesterday, but they will be
closing out both days, Friday and Saturday. So we're looking forward to those matches. We've still got some time. We're going to take a little bit of break. We've got a little bit of time before the next streams kick off. We're going to do our administration, and thank you all to those who watched. Appreciate it very much, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.